Okay, good afternoon. My name is Juan Esteban Hernandez, and today I'm going to be talking about the jails in Colombia. So, first of all, Colombia is as is known, is a country with a big vandalism and drug selling problem around its history. This is because the failures of the government around the years and the high increase of the people with no job in Colombia that only have the resources, didn't have the resources to have a home, have a good life, a dignified life, have the three foods of the day, and most of the time the only way out to these bad things or bad life situations is go to the streets to stealing, to selling drugs, to and sometimes robbery banks, narco trafficking situations. And the point when they are caught by the law of Colombia and they are judged, they get a sentencing to pay in the Colombian jails, as is known. So first, I'm gonna start talking the most famous jails in Colombia. So as is known, la cárcel La Modelo is one of the biggest in capacity and in history, most of grateful jails in Colombia. Then we have the jail La Modelo, that is also in Bogota, that is a female's prison. And we have the Guaduas prison, the Ibaguez penitentiaries institution, prison or jail. And the last one, as the most known, is the great known jail of Pablo Escobar in his time. The facts of the impact gives to us is that it's more than 150,000, 300 prisoners in Colombia. Here is the first problem of the penal system in Colombia. The capacity in general of all the jails plus in Colombia is from 79,200 prisoners around Colombia, or the capacity that they have to the prisoners in Colombia. That's a big problem. The prisoners are overcrowded here in Colombia, and that creates a situation to the government that most of the facilities here in Colombia they aren't in good shape. They didn't have enough space to contain all of these prisoners and have the resources to keep them in a dignity situation in prison. Also, it's known that the IMPEC is a very corrupt institution that most of the highly mayors and identities, national identities of government in Colombia want to delete the impact from the national corruption and jail assignments, because it's a corrupted institution that allows his prisoners to sell drugs in the jails, to have parties, to have benefits or achievements inside their prisons, and this create a situation when the prisoners didn't want to go outside the prison because they had a good life inside, and they are propense to commit again his already crimes to get back on prison for have a good life than they have in the real world. My opinion about this is that in some cases there's have to be an extradition because most of the very bad prisoners of very bad crimes are judged here in Colombia, and most of these bad guys had a lot of influence in the prisons, and they could have a dignity life, and that caused that the Colombians didn't see the punishment from these prisoners in prison. Also, for me, it's good to delete the impact from the national judgment institutions because a corrupt institution, and the only thing that this makes is making the prisoners feeling comfortable with prison. That is the last thing that the national government needs to do. The idea is that they have punishment, that they go outside as a new persons from the experience that they have in jail, not that they have a good life in prison because they always gonna, from time to time, they're gonna commit the same crimes that they did for go to prison time and time again. So this was my point of view of jails in Colombia. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you.